The thing that I love about Superman is no matter how dark or cynical the world gets, he always is hopeful and heroic and optimistic. He's a blue sky superhero.
He is a man who could do anything, and he's choosing to fight for us.
I think every major creator at some point wants to tell a Superman story.
Krypton, to me, is such a vibrant idea because there's so little that's been explored.
To be a part of something that's just got such a massive legacy to it, it's very surreal.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. DC Comics and Sci-Fi partnered to do a big documentary on the Superman character, the deeper meaning of his mythos, what it means in pop culture, what they're doing with it on the TV show. So I'm gonna play this. Be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. I will be doing a video for episode 1 when it airs next week. So I'll remind everybody about the schedule at the end of the video. They just premiered the series at South by Southwest. The reviews have been pretty good, so I'm actually pretty pumped up to check it out.
Hi, I'm Cameron Cuff from the new show Krypton, and right now I'm in Belfast standing on our version of the Fortress of Solitude. It's the 80th anniversary of Superman and the origin of Krypton, and as an actor and fan, I couldn't be more excited to be part of this next chapter.
One of the things that I wanted to do with Man of Steel was to emphasize the fact that Superman was an alien, and so I fought very hard to have that opening segment take place on Krypton and to depict it as a truly alien world. So while I was working on that film, I thought a lot about how we could take things further, and I approached Jeff Johns.
It really started with a conversation when David came to me and said, hey, I think I have an idea about a story on Krypton. How the House of El became the symbol of hope and optimism.
It's about this character, Seg, who's the grandfather of Superman, and it would take place about 200 years before Superman comes to Earth.
Superman came from a very sophisticated world. They were very advanced, but at the same time, beyond this sort of veneer of harmony, there was corruption. There was Machiavellian politics going on. I think it's something that speaks to us in our world today.
I think that's the big draw to Krypton, to dive deeply into what Krypton is and what was it like before Superman, as a baby, left that world and the world was destroyed.
The Krypton of our show is a planet that is late in its life cycle, and resources are so limited that there are only a certain amount of people that the government seems to care about.
The society is divided by class. It's a theocracy. There's an authoritarian religious ruler.
Ra's blessings are bountiful, but not unlimited. Only his wrath is.
Seg is a son of the House of El, which has had its once proud legacy ripped from them. When Seg's grandfather, Val-El, commits heresy by saying that there is something out there other than Kryptonians.
For rebelling against the lawful authority of the holy sovereignty of His Eminence, you are hereby sentenced to death.
When you deal with the House of El, you're also dealing with the symbol, what we call the glyph, and what that means. And we thought it would be interesting to subvert that expectation. And when we pick up our story, the House of El has been maligned. The Superman symbol is a mark of shame.
Your family will be stripped of all rights and privileges. You are now to be considered rankless.
He grows up rankless in the rankless district, which is this crevasse that's at the bottom of the city where people are just sort of piled in on top of each other. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Move along. Hey! This mine's not right anymore.
Seg's a good kid who's very angry at the world.
We didn't want to start Seg as the finished package, you know? We didn't want him to be Superman. We didn't want him to have all of those core values in place right from the start. We wanted that to be the journey, and we wanted that to be a progression.
What the hell are we thinking, Seg?
Are you gonna cuff me or what?
I like you this way.
Even though Krypton's very much a story about the House of El and the El lineage, it's also a story about the House of Zod and the Zod lineage.
Lighter, you are my daughter, and you are a Zod, and Zods are not traitors.
Lighter, Zod, she's part of the military guild. She has this relationship with Seg, which is not allowed. She shouldn't be going near a rankless.
There's so much in our lives we can't control, but we still get to define ourselves.
Seg is someone that she can speak to. They're really in love and they have this really passionate relationship, but they know that it's never going to last because they're both bound to different people. He's bound to Nyssa.
Nyssa here is yet to be paired with someone. As my youngest daughter, you'll be binding with her.
She's the woman that Seg is bound to. They don't call it marriage, they call it a binding. He takes an immediate disliking to Nyssa and she to him.
If my father binds you to us, he is taming you, proving that even a dreaded El can be co-opted and brought into the fold. Nyssa Vex is a junior magistrate of the Lawmakers Guild. I think a lot of Nyssa's relationships are built on an agenda, and Nyssa sees Seg as a commodity. Have your secrets, Seg. I most certainly have mine.
Seg, early on in the story, receives a call to action, and this call reminds him of the great legacy of his house, of the acts of courage and selflessness that are so incredible that they resound through history. But here's the kicker: they also resound in the future.
Don't even think about it.
The stranger shows up, says, "I'm from the future, I'm from a planet called Earth, my name is Adam Strange, and I need your help to save Krypton."
Someone from the future is coming to destroy Krypton. Why would they do that? Because where I'm from, your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe.
No one on Krypton, including Seg, has any awareness of Superman or even Earth at this point. So Adam is the audience's proxy.
This belongs to your grandson, Kal-El.
The second Adam Strange arrives back in time, the timeline has been irreversibly changed.
Once this cape is gone, our time's up. Superman will have been wiped from existence.
Because he's a time traveler, he shows that the show is not just a prequel. It's a story that is indelibly linked to the present. So the events that happen in our show could change Krypton's ultimate fate.
This thing that's coming, it moves from planet to planet, conquering civilizations. Its true name is Brainiac.
So here we are in the Genesis Chamber, and the cool thing about the Genesis Chamber is that it's actually a relatively new part of the lore introduced in 2014's Man of Steel. And the amazing thing to me as a fan is that even though this franchise has been going on for 80 years, the world of Krypton is so rich that there's really no end to the creative and storytelling possibilities.
I think every major creator at some point wants to tackle and tell the Superman story.
It's an American fable, it's American history. Everybody wants to take a crack at it.
As a Superman fan, there's no greater feeling than getting the chance to contribute something, anything, to the legacy of the character.
It's difficult when you're dealing with, a character as powerful and iconic as Superman. It's like Sherlock Holmes. But just like with Sherlock Holmes, you can find new takes and new approaches that illuminate the essential truth of the character.
Hey guys, I got the incredible opportunity to come visit DC Comics, check out their archive, and learn more about the incredible history of DC Comics, Superman, and the world of Krypton. Let's go check it out. So, where we're standing right now is the doorway to the DC Comics archive. It's one of the most special places in all of comic history. Pretty much every single issue that DC Comics has published from 1938 to whatever came out last week, it's here in this room.
Everyone that's kind of touched Superman, from the radio play to the movies to the comic books, has added to his mythology and expanded what he can do. There's so many people that have added to his story and his lore, and it just gets more and more refined. But that compass from Action Comics #1 is still present, it's still there.
It seems to be like they had, the idea of Krypton and Superman comes from here, but it wasn't until a little bit later they actually came back to it. I mean, it's such a fertile ground for really rich stories. You can't start the story without all of this.
And actually, I believe I have a map of Krypton in case you get lost. I don't know what it looks like on the show, but the Rainbow Cavern should be here, the Volcano of Gold.
And I can tell you right now, some of these places feature in the show. I'm not going to tell you which ones.
That's fantastic.
The great thing about Superman is that it's got a mythological basis that everybody knows. And from that, you can tell a variety of stories.
The mythology has expanded so much, and for us as well, it's a science fiction show, so it all has to make sense.
It's a matter of bringing what you have that you think is fresh, but you have to show respect for what the essence of the character is.
This is Action Comics 236 to 247, and it's here for a very important reason.
Brainiac.
Brainiac.
Brainiac is this thing that comes here and then captures us and says, you're just this tiny, small thing, and you're never going to be important, you're never going to be big, and so let me bottle you up and take you away.
Brainiac's history was already tied to Krypton even before Superman came to Earth. Famously, Brainiac came to Krypton in the past and devastated Kandor. He stole the entire city and shrunk it down into this globe on his ship, and so it made absolute sense that he would be our big bad.
One of my favorite interpretations of Brainiac throughout the years is the run that Jeff and Gary Frank did with incredible art and really, in a way, brought Brainiac back into Superman continuity and made him who he is, this incredible green being. And it's interesting to me as well, the way Brainiac has always been used as well is for a way for Superman to re-examine what it means to be human.
Gary Frank, the artist, and I really decided to take a run at making him threatening in a, I guess, more horrific way, and would go around to these places and digitize and cultures and destroy it and just collect it. And that version of Brainiac did heavily influence what we're doing in the show.
It's not just gonna stop at Krypton. It is coming for everything. It's known as the Collector of Worlds.
Here we are in one of our oldest bound issues. There's showcase number 17, Adam Strange.
Adam Strange was really the closest thing we had to a straight science fiction comic book. And he transported from here to his home planet and had various adventures.
I come from a planet called Earth, a time centuries from now. And I've come here to warn you.
The origin of Adam Strange is almost like a reversal of the Superman origin. Strange came from Earth and ended up on a strange planet that he became the hero of.
Adam Strange should be our cue to the audience that this is more than just about the Superman mythology. If you know comic books, Doomsday's origins happen on Krypton, and we'll be wrapping Doomsday into the story. There's an item called the Black Mercy that shows up in the pilot, and that's related to a character named Mongol that we hope to bring in. There's a world in the comics called Thanagar where Hawkman and Hawkwoman are from, and they're going to be wrapped up in the story as well. So Adam Strange is sort of the gateway to all the space-related characters in the DC universe.
So hopefully that gives you some more background on the series, some of the more space-based DC characters they're planning on doing, like Hawkman, Hawkworld, Rand, Thanagar, along with Doomsday, Mongol, all the really big stuff that you would want them to do in a Superman-themed TV show. But it's premiering March 21st on the Sci-Fi Channel at 9 p.m. It's a 9 p.m. show. If you don't watch television on TV, they do stream the episodes on their website, and you can find it pretty much anywhere else you would watch a TV show from the Sci-Fi Channel. So if you live outside of the United States and you're not sure where it's airing, just check the internet. You will be able to find it somewhere on the internet. So my episode 1 video posting next Wednesday, so no worries. While you wait for everything, click here to learn about how they're doing Red Hood Jason Todd on the Titans TV show, and click here for brand new Flash. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.